Hey guys, today we are looking at Big Tick Rhino. Rhino is a hybrid FM synthesizer. It comes in 32 and 64-bit versions. Rhino has 6 oscillators, hundreds of built-in waveforms, and the option to load custom waveforms. It also has 2 filters with 20 different modes, 2 effects slots, and comes with over 1,000 presets. Let's take a detailed look at some of its features. Rhino has a clean-looking, well-organized interface. The tabs at the top select different components of the synth. The library and bank browser, grid, and various controls are all on the first tab. Parameters can be adjusted with the mouse or scroll wheel, and the shift key can be held down for greater accuracy. The eye on the Rhino logo blinks to indicate incoming MIDI data and can be pressed as a panic button. 6 sliders on the bottom right can each be assigned up to 16 parameters and can be automated. Any of the text fields can be edited with a right click. The MIDI Learn button works nicely if you have an external controller of some kind. And there's also a user learn button that I tried out, but it didn't work for me because I'm still a noob. Aw, come on, I thought it was funny. Each oscillator can be made to modulate any combination of others, and can be routed through filters. In addition, there are 2 ring modulators, each of which can have up to 3 inputs. A particular routing can be disabled with a right click. The Lin button switches between linear or exponential scaling. You can find presets in either the bank or library browser. Presets can be imported and exported as text files. DX7 and TX81Z files can be imported as well. The bank displays 64 presets, while the library browser organizes every preset in categories. The library can be searched by keyword. You can choose from a variety of tuning scales. One of my favorite things about Rhino is the patch notes. They mention detailed things about the patches, such as whether aftertouch is available, or if different sounds are mapped to different parts of the keyboard. Let's listen to a few of the included presets. I chose these more or less at random. What does this one say? Da, da, Okay. Da da da. Da da da. Da da da. I don't get it. Rhino has 6 oscillators. One oscillator can be dragged and dropped onto another to copy its settings. Rhino has a ton of waveforms. Some of these sound great on their own, and the large number of them offers limitless possibilities for patch design. As you can see, there are different categories, from typical wave, like square and saw, to unusual ones, like darkness in the valley. Each oscillator can be tuned by semitones or synths, and can also be switched to act as an LFO. LFO mode can divide the oscillator frequency by either 100 or 1000. Rhino has very flexible envelopes. It would take a whole other video to describe all of the envelope features. Some of the coolest are the ability to add more envelope points, autofit, which scales the display to show the whole envelope as changes are made, and lock mode, where an envelope point will not affect its neighbors when it is moved. Each oscillator also has other envelopes such as level, wave shaping, and pitch. Finally, each oscillator also has keyboard and aftertouch tracking. Rhino has 20 different filter types, ranging from the pedestrian, such as high pass and low pass, to the exotic, such as a comb filter. The filters can be adjusted by assigning parameters to the sliders. A variable wave shaper can be used to process the signal along with the filters. The filters have envelopes similar to the ones on the oscillators. They can be used to adjust the cutoff level and time, resonance, resonance time, pan, wave shaper time, and wave shaper amount. Finally, each filter has 10 velocity curves and 4 aftertouch curves. Rhino features a step sequencer that feels unwieldy at first. However, after reading the short manual entry, it becomes much easier to use. You activate the sequencer by clicking the button next to the number of steps that you want, up to 16. The velocity, note, and length of the step are adjusted by using a slider. You can right-click on a note slider to quickly define a specific value. Unfortunately, this does not work for velocity and length values. A random mode can be enabled for the sequence. The tempo can be adjusted relative to the host project tempo using a slider. A value of 0 gives 1/4 tempo, 50 gives 1/2, 75 gives full project tempo, and 100 on the slider is double the project tempo. Sequences can be saved. Okay, here's a project I did to demonstrate the sound of Rhino. This is Chorale number 43 by J.S. Bach. I kept it pretty basic and only used light reverb so that the sound of the instruments would not be masked. Most demos I hear are so processed that it's hard to decide if the instrument actually sounds good or not. I wanted to avoid that here. I also used velocity changes. There are many great synthesizers out there, but for me one of the big tests is whether or not it can produce expressive results, especially with the stock presets. I chose the Sweet Quartet patch for the bass and soprano, and the Stage 88 for the tenor and alto voices. I adjusted the patch for each voice a little differently to make them stand out. I took the reverb off of the strings because it was too much. I gave the tenor voice a slightly more mellow sound. Each voice is panned to its own place. I used Cubase's reverence with a plate setting to make the 4 voices all sound like they were in the same space. Finally, I boosted the volume a little bit. Things were a little quiet because of the velocity levels I chose. I will post a full version of this song with a visualization in a separate video for anyone that wants to hear it. Well, let's see how it turned out. Rhino has both strengths and weaknesses. For one thing, the volume levels on many of the included patches are way out of adjustment. Some of them are barely audible, while others cause clipping. Tick has stated that this is a problem he is working on, so I expect that this will be fixed in future releases. Some of the patches used an insane amount of ASIO time. On the plus side, Rhino comes with a ton of presets, many of which are amazing. I especially like the rhythmic patches. They are great if you want something for the background of a cheesy YouTube video and don't want to spend a bunch of time messing around with sequencing something. The real strength of Rhino is its robust feature set and the simplicity of its layout. All of these are described clearly and succinctly in the manual. The customer support from Big Tick is ridiculously good. The company website says that it is located in New York and France. I emailed them with a question and got a response about 15 minutes later. This was about 10 p.m. in California, so it was really late in New York and really early in France. Either way, I have never received such a quick response outside of regular business hours. Overall, Rhino is an excellent instrument. It has its own feel that sets it apart from other FM synthesizers. Check out the demo at bigtickaudio.com. It comes with the stock presets, and its only limitation is that it randomly drops notes from time to time.